Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
This is the closing bell on the Stock Movers Report. The companies making moves at the close of U.S. trading with Carol Massar, Tim Stenovec, Romaine Bostick, and Scarlet Fu.
I want to start with EchoStar. A share surged to a record, most ever at one point in the day. Ended up closing out the day up 70% today. This, as the company said it's agreed to sell spectrum licenses to AT&T for about $23 billion in an all-cash transaction. AT&T said the acquisition of this spectrum will strengthen the company's ability to deliver 5G and fiber services across the U.S. EchoStar, for its part, will continue to operate in the U.S. market as a hybrid mobile network operator under its Boost brand. Also, keep an eye on what happened with shares of Lilly today, to the upside of 5.9%. This after news that its experimental obesity pill helped patients lose 9.6% of body weight in a trial. So instead of a shot, yes, it could be available in a pill at some point in the future. Patients who were given the highest dose of the pill lost around 21 pounds and saw significant improvements in blood sugar levels, according to the company. Shares higher today by close to 6%. And finally, keep an eye on stocks in the defense sector today, particularly Lockheed Martin, which moved to the upside about 1.7%. This after Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick suggested earlier on CNBC that the U.S. government is looking at the defense sector for potential stakes in companies a la Intel. The secretary did signal out Lockheed Martin, saying the company makes much of its revenue because of the U.S. government and is, quote, basically an arm of the U.S. government.
Let's now look at decliners. Constellation Brands, we have the shares down by nearly 4%. That's after Bank of America downgraded the company to underperform on weaker beer trends. So more noteworthy is the fact that the bank holds the only sell equivalent rating. So they cut their price target to a street low of $150. That's from $182. So the stock saw pressure and is down by 3.5%. Up next is Keurig Dr Pepper. Shares are also down by 6.5%. That's after HSBC downgraded the stock to a hold from buy. This comes after the JDEPY Peet purchase announcement on Monday. So the price target is cut to $30 from $42. The analyst there said that the unwind of the 2018 Keurig and Dr Pepper merger comes at a, quote, high acquisition cost. And lastly, we're looking at Salesforce. It's also down by 1.5%. Oppenheimer cuts its price target to $315.
All right, let's just jump here on earnings. We have earnings from MongoDB, and I'm going to pull them up right now. We do see for the second quarter, this is the quarter that ended, the loss per share was 58 cents, which was smaller, more narrow than what analysts had versus last year, I should say, which was 74 cents a share. Adjusted EPS was $1 versus the consensus estimate of 65 cents. In terms of the revenue, it's $591.4 million. Analysts were looking for $554. The outlook for the full year, $2.34 billion to $2.36 billion. That is an upgrade from the previous forecast, which was at least $2.25 billion to $2.29 billion. Full year adjusted EPS, according to MongoDB, also goes to $3.64 from $3.73. That is a notable upgrade from the previous estimate of at most $3.12. And you can see the stock responding here, up 12.5% right now in after hours trade.
Kind of interesting to see some of these mid and smaller software companies getting a bid here in the after hours trade. A lot of concerns, of course, heading into those earnings out of NVIDIA tomorrow. The idea that some of the spending that had been flowing into some of these identity security companies, some of the cloud providers like Box and, of course, MongoDB, that we would see some weakness there. But the earnings coming in right now, and at least for the current quarter and the guidance for the next quarter, seems to be holding up on MongoDB. Box also reporting a beat and a raise there here on a day where there is a big focus right now on corporate fundamentals with NVIDIA up ahead in about 24 hours. But, of course, right now, everybody obsessing over the Fed and what may come next. We saw the steepening of the curve today. A lot of concerns here that, yeah, we may end up with a dovish Fed no matter how much this shakes out. But of course, this also could be a Fed potentially that could end up maybe not being as prepared to fight inflation longer term. And that's a big part of the reason why you're looking at the long end of the curve moving in the opposite direction.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.